Okay. This is I can't wait for it. Today we're going to be covering Naked, NAKD. It's by request for, let me see, Naja000. Thank you for the request and giving me something to do. So let's take a look at it. Jump right in. So what I do is I took the trend lines from the past here, this last movement up, and I marked the days. This happened on June 9th of last year. This spike up that it did. And then this next spike up happened January 28th. And so June 9th is right here where this blue line's marked. And then um, this next one over here is where all these lines kind of like cross naturally without, anything else, just where they all converged. And so I drew a line through it September 17th just to mark kind of like an idea of maybe a possible timeline on that. There's not a lot of price action here. I mean, it's all squeezed inside $4. Um, so who knows if it holds true to it. But the way we like to use the trend lines here is that it's not a prediction. It's more of like a, if price action is favoring the trend line, like it's actually rejecting off of it or bouncing off of it or respecting the trend line period, then we use the trend lines to find our place to get in, because basically if it's following, if it's respecting the trend line, it's most likely going to respect the last movement that it did before that made that trend line. So these this line right here, and so I've got it broken down a couple different ways, but let me see if I can make this bigger for everyone. All right, so we've got price action coming down off this. It's a ghost trend line from the past, and it stays all, it seems to be staying consolidated inside this area here. And so if it decides to break out of it, it would, it most likely would do it right here in this area. We've got our, buyer's climax here, our distribution, our reaccumulation, the three bounces, failing to be able to reaccumulate or to gather up enough of the float or control the float in order to continue pushing it up. So it continues to spill out here, going for a deeper low, trying to break these stop losses and break retails, break them out of their contracts so that they can gobble up more of the float to have more control of it. So that way they can make it run up if they want it to run up. And so you'll see them trying to gobble up the float right here, and then you got three bounces after this jump up right here. And so that also is the break of this trend line right here, is where they try to they try to accumulate the float or absorb the float. At this point is where it breaks the trend line of going down. And so after that, price action moves away from that trend line and then naturally comes back to it. And then once it hits that trend line again, it bounces off of it again, trying to make a movement going up. And so we've got some sideways action here after it's bounced off this trend line. But like I said, we've got three bounces, so let's count those. We got goes up, go 1, 2, and this would be the third one here, or you can go 1, 2, 3. There's the bounce. It's one leg up from the other one over here, which means it's a slightly higher low than this one over here. And then you should have a free ride right here going up. And so now we've got two trend lines being made here, or predictions being made off these green lines going out. This is off the first initial bounce right here, and it's taking these trend lines and what's, I guess, what catches my eye is where it crosses this date and this specific line right here, but then also where it crosses up here on this date, and where it crosses, or where this trend high from one high to the next high ends exactly at that exact same spot right there as well, and where this one price action runs up to and stops as well. So that's at a $4.19 on September 17. And this one is at $1.73 on the 9th of June. So if this does decide to go crazy and jump all the way up to here, then it would probably do it right here in this, in the next week or so. And then I anticipating it because based on You got your distribution where it fails to, starting to reaccumulate and start to run up. So if it does run up, it's going to run up to this area here where the 3-4 is, this dotted line. It's most likely going to hit this area and then come back down, and then find support somewhere around that 65 mark and then bounce up and go long from there. So that would complete the 3-4 to the 5, which is a spring, and then from there running up for a new high, which could be one of these big spikes that run up right here. Or it might just be very minimalized and go up. All it has to do is hit the top Bollinger Band. Its job is done at that point. So you can see right here the Bollinger Band's sitting pretty tight to the price action. So, I mean, it doesn't really have to go far to complete that move. I mean, it could just stay inside these dotted lines like this right here, which is, based on another past movement that's not as extreme. I mean, it could just run up. This is the bottoms of that movement. So, I mean, it could just run up like this, come back down, hit, hugging this bottom here and bounce out. Or it can run the extremes. It can come up here and bounce all the way up to this $1.73, come back down to like this 87 cent mark, and then bounce out and go long and go up for the $1.73, and past that find support and bounce up again to go up for the 4.19. So there's a lot of possibilities here. It really just depends on what how retail interacts with it once it's in this area where it's actually going up. It's already crossed all the T's and the I's and gotten to the place where it's about to run up. So if whether or not retail gets behind this and pushes it up is what's really going to make this either go the distance on the first jump, or it's going to take several jumps to get up there. But that's your more aggressive path right there. And then this is your secondary path right here. And then just staying, following this and just staying inside this dotted line right here, and this, slowly just inching its way up. I guess there's your two paths. So you have an aggressive one, you have a less aggressive one. I've got trend lines drawn here and there. I've got Wyckoff and the curve numbers numbered. So I could hit 3-4, come back down, hit this 5 down here, and then go up for one way up here. Or I could do two curves and just go for one. I don't know why that pops up. It might just go up here and hit this area and then come back down, start a whole nother curve, and it might take 5 more steps before it takes a run up to get up there. Who knows? Like I said, there's not a ton of data out there, but I mean, that's probably my best guess. So I'll make sure to tag you in it. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the question. If you got another one that you'd like me to check out, please put it in the comments below. Please like, follow, subscribe, and share it with some friends. This is I Can't Wait for It. I'll see you on the next one.